Welcome to my sketchbook tour. All of these stickers are from Redbubble and will be linked in the description. I like to put a sticker on the back bottom of the sketchbook. I do his with all my sketchbooks because I feel like it makes them tie together nicely. This is a Blick sketchbook, and if I get one comment asking what sketchbook is that, I'll cry. On the left are some stickers from when I went camping. The first page is my intro page where I added a lot of little things I was interested in at the time. Also, if you see anything blocked out, it's likely sensitive information or something I just don't want on the internet. I wrote some goals for the sketchbook here, and then my follower numbers at the time. A lot of my social media accounts have grown significantly since this. The rest of the page is some mindless doodles. Here I created an OCI that I immediately dropped after this, and then some other random doodles. Here I filled a spread inspired by an artist on TikTok. My favorite is the lime one with the magenta colored pencil on top. Here are some doodles I did. I also drew one of my mutuals OCs here as a prize for a Draw This in Your Style on Instagram. Here I just wanted to draw a cute cottagecore girl with a cat and then on a swing. On the right I drew my OC, Isabella, as a mermaid. On the left I drew that one OC again, and then proceeded to never return to him again. On the right though I drew myself wearing the Ranboo varsity jacket. I also just doodled Ranboo on the page as well. On the sticky notes I was planning out commission prices, which I still haven't really started at all. I also was sketching out an OC's redesign on the right page. On the left I drew Michael with Benson, and then on the right I made a finished drawing of the OC from earlier. I also wrote out the price of some things I wanted to buy, but I'm poor so I got none of these. Here I was thumbnailing some sketches for a finished digital piece. Then I doodled both Erot and Techno. I also thumbnailed out another piece for a welcome to the internet painting. I doodled a lot of Tommy on this page, and 2 people told me that the hands on the drawing of Tommy sitting there were bad. I also just doodled a lot of other little things. Here I drew some streamers I was following on Twitch at the time. The rest of the sketches though are just unfinished doodles. The blue sketches were done at my school in ballpoint pen, so I just stuck M in here. Then I doodled myself in a sort of idealized way in green. I also get the palette full packs and I decided to just stick the sticker in here. It was around the time I really got into music and started listening to Jack Stauber. His music has a really cool funky vibe to it that I love. This piece of Hermantha is based off his song. The other page though is just random doodles that I didn't put much thought or effort into. Here I started drawing frames for a TikTok. As you can see though, I didn't get that far. Here's a redraw of my OCs. I think there's been a big improvement between the 2 pieces. I also just sketched them on the other page as well. Of my palette full packs I got a thing of this orange spray stuff, so I just played around with it here. I also drew Tubbo in an outfit for MCC. Here I had the idea to draw myself in different parts of the Dream SMP, but after Kinoko Kingdom I lost a lot of interest and motivation. I put down some acrylic paint on this page because of the marker bleed through, and then sketched Amity and Soko on top of it. The sketches of Soko were to help me figure out how I would draw him if I ever actually made that animatic. This drawing of Erot was entirely made with stuff I could find around my school. So I basically went to my teachers throughout the school day asking for certain supplies to make this. The other page was just vent art that I likely did at 1 AM. These are some very uninteresting doodles I have in here, so let's just move on. Here I doodled Ranboo. These were also done at 1 AM, so they're interesting to say the least. Here I drew a lot of random stuff. I'm quite fond of this drawing of George, though I think it turned out quite nice. All that I really have to say about this page is that I think the black sketch on yellow looks really funky and I like it. Here I stuck in some of my very first sketches of the Dream SMP character. I also drew Slime Sickle because it was his birthday. The drawing of Tubbo is quite nice too. I especially like the shading on his skin. Here I drew hilariously Scary's OC Dysphonia in what I like to call my funky old style. Not gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite drawings in here. The other side is just some doodles of me though. Here I was trying to figure out my funky art style. So I drew my OC on the left. I'm a big fan of this doodle of them here. It looks very fun. Here was more of me figuring out the funky art style. I drew my OC Reese on the left, and Tyler on the right. I mainly drew Tyler to help me try and figure out how I would draw bigger body types in this style. On the left here I drew another one of hilariously Scary's OC's Paradox. And on the right I made Fanart for someone I follow on TikTok. I realized that I needed to study hands, so here I filled a whole spread of hands I found on Pinterest. I'm pretty content with how these turned out for the most part. Here was a sketch of the bench trio that I liked, so I just stuck it in here. Then here is a redraw of a cat girl. I drew her another time before this, but I don't think I'll be able to find it. Here I sketched out my character on some sticky notes. On the right I drew Stressed Pigeon's OC Colton. This is another drawing I'm quite fond of. Here I sketched some of Luce and Hunter being siblings. This was also around the time season 2 episodes started premiering. On the other side though is a drawing of a clown I made in the funky art style again. This sketch of Luce and Hunter is something I finished digitally. And then on the side I was trying to practice doing perspective. This page is just a lot of mindless sketches and doodles. Some were done for a TikTok, but otherwise there's nothing I put any thought into on this page. Here's more Owl House fan art. Not gonna lie, I mostly just draw Luce and Amity. So I drew Ida here and finished the drawing digitally. Here I just doodled some random girls in blue, and then on the other side is just some #quirky vent art. Here is where I started having a bit of art block, so a lot of these sketches are mediocre to say the least. I was gonna make a spread for all the Dream SMP members, but I lost motivation after I finished George's. I do really like this sketch of Dream though. Here are some more random doodles. I was also sick at the time, so I made a joke about how I was so shaky after taking my inhaler. These were all doodles I did when school started that I just stuck in here. I really like the quality of this sketch, so I finished it digitally. Here are more art block sketches. Also these stickers pop up a lot, so just ignore them. Something that helps me get out of art block is recreating other people's art. I found all these drawing on Pinterest, so if they look familiar, that's why. More of the same stuff previously. Again, some of this was recreated from Pinterest drawings. This was just based off a pose I saw on Pinterest though. Again, more recreating Pinterest sketches. Just more recreating Pinterest sketches. I really like the quality of most of these sketches though. This sketch is the last one I referenced from Pinterest, and this is just a sketch of my OC Kate. The doodle of Reese on the left is still something I want to finish digitally. But as is, I still think it's really nice. Here is an OC that I actually got some fan art for, which was really cool. On the right I just sketched out Co and Reese. Other than that, there's really nothing to say about this spread. There's just a lot of sketches I did on this page, none of which I like so. Finally we're at the halfway page. From here on I think I upped the quality of the sketchbook. I also did an update on how my social media grew over time. Here I drew loose for Inktober. I really despise this drawing just because of the eyes. I also was just sketching more of Kate. Here I was having a great time. I was just not in my favorite location, so I made this. More from that same day, and some other doodles. I really like this spread. I think I loosely referenced some drawing on Pinterest on this page. I'm pretty fond of the hair on the legs and some of the other details on the page. I had some high hopes for this drawing, but I never ended up finishing it. I also just taped in this piece of a card I got. I had the idea for this group of OCs, but I haven't returned to them in a while. But this is Leo. Then here's another redraw, and I'm pretty happy with the end result and think it's a huge improvement over the first. This sketch was something I did to test out the sketchbook long before I started working in it. And here I just drew someone for a TikTok. Some low effort doodles I did. Here though I was gonna draw Jamie. Hilariously Scary's OC. Here are some more low effort doodles. But here I drew the one character from Metal Family. These sketches were the birth of me drawing my Sona. And I'm guessing this is right after I dyed my hair. This drawing though was made around the time everyone was making fun of their Hamilton phase on TikTok. Some random doodles and then thumbnail sketches from an animatic to someone gets hurt. I never finished this though. More doodles of my Sona and then some other miscellaneous sketches. Here I doodled some sketches of Spinel. I like sketching in another color and then going over it again with a black pen. I don't know, it just looks really cool. Was something I drew for a school project that I just taped in here. Here I was doodling a lot late at night when I was #sad. I got a really bad haircut, so here I drew my Sona looking cool to make myself feel better. This is also a drawing of them on the roof. Here is another drawing of my Sona, and then here is another redraw. I'm pretty pleased with the results. Here's some vent art I did. Then I also drew some other sketches, and then some other random stuff I just stuck in. Here are some sketches I just drew in red pen. Nothing really interesting. I'm quite fond of this page actually. Yellow is a color I don't use much, but I really like it. And these sketches are all really nice. I also just smacked down some yellow acrylic paint around the sketches. Here was a redraw I did of Shera. And here I sketched my OC Kate. This sketch though was practice for a painting I did on a vinyl. I really like this drawing. I like this art style where I give the line art a lot of detail that makes it look kinda gross to be honest. Also ignore how the hands are flipped. Let's just call it an artistic choice. Here's where I really get obsessed with my OC Co. So I just sketched a bunch of them here. I'm quite fond of this sketch in particular. All the drawings stuck in here were done while I was in class. But this drawing is of Tricky from Subway Surfers. This is a sketch I did of Kelsey animated, and then the rest of this other page is angry vent art. Here's one of my favorite pages in this sketchbook. All of the left page sketches are sketches I did based off of my art inspo I have saved on Pinterest. Then on the right I just have a lot of cute doodles. Here are some sketches I did of Tommy with Friend. I really like this aesthetic the fandom decided to make up for him. Then I also drew some Tubbo. There's lots of random sketches here. But this is when Squid Game had just come out and was really popular, so I sketched it as I imagined my OCs would do it. Lots of uninteresting doodles here. But I'm quite fond of this Ghost Burr sketch and this Amity sketch. This was when I first watched Coraline. I really like that movie, and of course I loved YB, otherwise I have some other sketches as well. Here I sketched Morco. Then here I attempted to draw Garnet, but she doesn't look like she's having that great of a time. Here I drew Reese in a funky outfit. The rest are just some really uninteresting sketches. Some bizarre doodles. And then this watercolor portrait I did of this photo I found on Pinterest. This is another one of my favorite spreads in this sketchbook. I don't do much acrylic painting, so I'm really happy with this. And these sketches are both really nice and I'm very happy with them. Here is a character design I had my followers on Instagram help me make. If you only follow me here or on TikTok, I would recommend you check out my Instagram because that's where I interact with my followers the most. These drawings were all based off of photos I found on Pinterest. This was a sticker I got in my palette full packs. And then this was a painting of Lumity that I also used a reference for. Here's a sketch I did of Co. As you can see, I made them very cool. Here's some uninteresting sketches of Ranboo and Tommy. Nothing that interesting. These are some cute sketches. I'm a fan of this green fairy. I think she turned out cute. This was in fall when my allergies kicked in and made me get really sick. So I sketched some stuff to make me feel better. Here I sketched Eric because of those photos that they had posted for Halloween. Then I drew Ranboo because it was his birthday. Here I draw Oliver's antics. Oh see, no. This was also kinda a redraw. Then here I drew some fan art for I Wish You All the Best. It didn't exactly turn out though. Over here I just doodled on some acrylic paint. And then these are just more sketches of Co. This is when I pumped out a bunch of character designs. These characters don't have an exact story or anything, but their designs are neat. This is another one of those designs, but this is the only sketch I actually like on here. This is the only one of those characters that I actually came up with a name for. I don't know why, but when I saw him the name Quentin just felt right. This is the last of those characters. But these are thumbnails for a painting I want to do. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Here's some vent art, except that it's funny. I sketched my OC Brie here, and then here is a doodle of someone playing the guitar. Here's the last sketches in here. Unlike my other sketchbooks, I did a good job of not giving up on the last pages of the sketchbook. I also like these sketches a lot. Finally we arrive at the last page. This sketchbook took me about 5 months to fill. And here I did a comparison of my social media from the beginning to end. My TikTok was the one that easily grew the most through the sketchbook. This sketchbook holds a lot of memories in it and I love it a lot. Also, I wanted to show you this comment I got about this sketchbook in particular. It is in fact an accordion now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you with another video or sketchbook tour soon.